So what you're saying, Professor, is that if you were president of the world, as soon as we're out of the current financial crisis and back to business as usual, we can look forward to increased taxes, increased immigration.
There will be people who would trickle in. But a more reasonable and multilateral approach to migration would allow more orderly migration. So, and it is clear that migration is one of the key instruments for reducing global poverty. So if people are serious about reduction in global poverty, they actually have to be also serious about migration. That does not mean that you open the doors indiscriminately and that you open it in a huge way, but you open it in an orderly way, but you open it a little bit more than you did in the past. And even today, with these current flows, which seem to us to be really relatively high, we have to realize that they are much less than the flows 100 and 150 years ago. Because then we had large migration from Europe to North America and to South America as well. And we had large migration out of China and India, again to the Americas and also to South Asia, for instance, Malaya, Indonesia, and so on. So the flows compared to the total population today are relatively small.
And it can, of course, be said without doubt that those flows are what built the prosperity in the rich countries today.
That's another argument, because we actually, in what we said until now, we took a little bit of a defensive position in the sense of saying, how are the rich countries going to accommodate all these thousands of people who might want to come? And as I said, it is indeed a problem. However, they also contribute. And we know from the studies that they are very often, their contribution is much higher than what they receive in social benefits. Sometimes they are even not entitled. And even when they are entitled, their young population, they are actually spending most of their working life in rich countries, so they contribute a lot. So viewing them as simply a cost and not a source of contribution, let alone the fact that actually they do lots of jobs that other people would not like to do. And then thirdly, you're actually able to use talents of young population and diverse population, which is very important, as we know from the example of the countries like the United States or Canada or Australia.
Thank you very much, Professor.